What's going on, YouTube? KoD Foot here, bringing you another episode of KoD Foot Talks. It's a random topic series where I just pick a topic, I ramble about it for a little while. Sometimes I try and stay up to date with current events. Sometimes I talk about just off the wall nothingness for no reason. I don't know. Today I'm going to talk a little bit about something that's been going on recently. Gonna try and stay a little current with things, share my thoughts, views, and opinions on things that are going on in the world. Before I get started into it, though, before we get started with every video, I have to plug a few things. We've got KoD Foot Talks every Tuesday. We've got a challenge video or a vlog or some kind of video, something, I don't know, something on Thursday between me and Faz. And then we got Challenge Faz on Sunday. So make sure you are subscribed to the channel. Stay up to date with everything that we got coming out. And let's go ahead and get started into it. Today, we're talking about terrorism. So it's been going on a lot lately. It's been in the news. I don't really pay attention to the news because it's shit like this that depresses me and it pisses me off and it makes me hate the world. But it's been everywhere. You pretty much can't avoid it. We had the attacks in Paris, and then after that it was the attack in San Bernardino. And I know there's a lot more attacks that go on a daily basis of suicide bombers and people just causing mass casualties just to cause them. And most of the time we don't see them here in America. When we do see terrorism in America firsthand, when we actually fully experience it firsthand, 9 times out of 10 or 9 times out of 11, see what I did there? It's never too soon. Always make jokes. 9 times out of 10, though, the terrorism in America is homegrown terrorism. It's domestic terrorism, not foreign terrorism. There's the argument of 9/11 and things, and we could get into that conspiracy theory and travel down that rabbit hole. But I really don't want to. We're talking about more current event terrorism, more along the lines of what's been going on in the past recent weeks, anyway. So it started, you heard the news, everybody was, pray for Paris, and everybody's putting their Facebook picture as the France flag and the red, white, and blue lined up in the colors of France's flag or whatever. And, that's cool and everything, but what is that really doing? That's not doing anything. Yeah, you're showing your support, but are you pledging your support? Are you going over there to help them? Are you pledging to fight their enemies for them? No, what are you doing? You're changing your fucking Facebook picture because you want to be part of the fucking crowd. It's stupid. I don't like it. It's retarded. It's not my favorite thing. Luckily I don't have a Facebook anymore. I only have, I do have a Facebook, but it's only for, KoD related things. It's only under the name just so that I can access the KoD clan page that we have and talk with the KoD clan members. Besides that, I don't have a Facebook, so I don't have to fully see all that dumb shit all the time. But I still see it on Twitter, and it's on Instagram, and it's just dumb. I don't know. But anyway, back to terrorism. And then we had the attack most recently in the past couple of days in San Bernardino, California. And at first they didn't know whether or not it was just a workplace violence or what the deal was, but they made sure to emphasize that these people were Muslim and that they were Islamic and that they, had recently just gotten back into the country. And I feel like they were kind of jumping the gun on it. Yes, it did turn out supposedly that they are linked to terrorism. They were radicalized. They believed in what the Islamic State believes in, and yada, 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 but who really knows what was actually found? But then the thing that's got me skeptical about what was actually found and what wasn't was the fact that news crews were allowed into these people's home within days, within hours of it happening. They were in their home going through everything. The FBI's like, oh, we got all the important evidence. But how the fuck do they know what the important evidence is without having the time to actually process all of the evidence to see what is important, what isn't? You can't go into a home of a suspected terrorist, of somebody that you believe was doing something linked to the Islamic State, to ISIS, or whatever it is that you want to call them. You can't go into a home of someone that you believe is linked to them and within hours get all the evidence that you think is important, while leaving all kinds of other shit for news crews to come in and flip through. They were flipping through family photographs. They were, showing ID licenses of the people, like their actual license. How is that not taken with the FBI? So now that crime scene is tainted, and I will have a hard time fully believing the story that comes out of it. In my personal belief, I think that this most recent attack definitely had something to do more along the lines of gun control. It's going to be used to push the issue of gun control because they kept also just pointing out the fact that most of the guns that they had purchased were all purchased legally. They were all obtained legally. There was documentation tracing them. Um, the ammunition was purchased legally. So now it's going to go to the gun control that if these people wouldn't have had free reign to purchase guns, which is protected by the Second Amendment right, to be able to, as long as you are not a felon, which neither one of them were, to be able to purchase a gun legally in the United States of America, if it was not that easily accessible, then they would not have been able to carry out this murder and carry out this gruesome crime. But in my opinion, I'm kind of divided on the line there. If we provide more people with guns and we become a completely armed country where it's just instilled in you as a child that a gun is a normal thing, and that you may have to shoot someone to defend yourself or your life or your family, and it's more than just for hunting. If we become that sort of country, then all the crazies are going to come out. And yes, they may not be able to kill as many of people because then everybody's going to be armed and somebody's going to be able to stop them. But then everybody just starts shooting at each other because nobody knows who's crazy, and then we're all dead. And it's like pushing the internal nuke button. It's an implosion of the country. So I don't fully agree with giving everyone guns, but at the same time, when you take away the guns from the people, when you tell people that they're not allowed to possess the firearms that have been their civil rights since fucking way before any of us were born, if you take those away, A, you're going to cause an uprising because people aren't going to go silently into that. People are not going to deal with that, being told that they're not allowed to have their guns. There are people that fucking love their guns. And there are people that love their guns responsibly and do so in a manner that doesn't cause harm to anybody else. Yes, they have a very vast collection of guns. I know a few people who are like that, who just collect guns and ammunition, and they're preparing, they're stockpiling for what may come, but they're not going out of their way to go kill anybody, and they're definitely not walking into an office building and mowing down 14 of their coworkers with their wife. So it's kind of a double-edged sword that you've got there. You don't want to give everybody guns because then everybody's going to die. You don't want to take away everybody's guns because A, like I said, you're going to get the uprising, and then B, that leaves us completely unprotected as civilians from an uprising from our own government. And our own government is scary as shit. And they're capable of doing things, and they are willing to do things to make sure that we sustain the world's power, to make sure that we are the police of the world. And so I don't agree with taking the guns away either. And what does all that have to do with terrorism? I'm not exactly sure, but there's a link there somewhere. There's something there. And I can't see it, but it's there. And I'm not going to go and speculate on conspiracy theories because I've said this before. I've done a video on conspiracy theories. And while I do believe some of them, I don't believe all of them. And this one does seem a little far-fetched, but at the same time, the timing just matches up so beautifully. And the timing for the fear of people to having guns matches up perfectly with the elections. And it seems like these things happen on election cycles. So you got to question it. If you don't question it, then you're just accepting whatever you're being told. If you're just accepting whatever it is that you're being told, you are just a sheep. And I'm not saying that the government's lying to you, and I'm not saying that the government is doing all these bad things behind your back. But at the same time, if you don't question it, then why wouldn't it be possible that they are? So you got to kind of look at it from the big picture. Now, as far as the acts of what happened in France, I don't know if their government's doing anything. I don't know. And I don't know if America is doing something there. I don't know who is actually at fault for this. And if it is just terrorism, and it's very well likely that it could be just terrorism, it could be a small group of radicalized Islams that believe that their God is the one true God and that they need to kill anybody who doesn't believe in that. If that is actually the case, then it's a sad state of affairs that the world's in, because that is how fear spreads. That's how everything begins. That's what they want. That's why they call it terrorism, is because they are just such a small group. Nobody takes them seriously. They're just a small group of people, but they're going out and they're causing these mass murders in major cities, and it puts fear in people. It makes you not want to leave your house. It makes you not want to go to do your job, which then makes your country, your economy, and your society just weak as a whole. So you can't allow that. You can't allow somebody to bully you, which is basically what it is. And it's not internet bullying, it's actual fucking bullying. It's not, oh, you're fat. Oh my God, please don't pickle me. It's, oh, fuck you. And I'm going to put a bullet in your head and make you scared. And that is what a true bully is. That is the definition of fucking bullying. And it's just, if you let them bully you, if you let the fear take over, if you let it become something that you change your life because of, that you start acting differently because of, then they've won, and then terrorism wins. But I don't know. It's just so much to process with the whole thing that I don't fully understand exactly where I stand on it. I've done some thinking into it. I've tried to process what it is that they're doing and why they're doing it. And I mean, I can't think that they would think that it's possible for them to go from being such a small group of people to taking over the world. I can't believe that they would actually be doing this for, your normal super villain type of thing for world domination, because there's no way that they could ever think that they're going to get away with that. But at the same time, they're doing it for some fucking reason. And I understand we're bullies as Americans. We're known as the world police. Most fucking people in the world hate us because we stick our noses in shit that don't belong in. So maybe that's why they hate us. Maybe that's why they attacked us. That's why supposedly they attacked France, because France was attacking them in defense of somebody else. So it's really, are we willing to go and defend another country and have our own people put into a state of fear because of it? I don't know. Just some thoughts that ran through my head. So that's where I'm going to wrap this video up. Hope you liked it. Hope you enjoyed. Make sure you hit that like button if you did. Leave a comment below. Let me know what you want to hear me talk about. Like I said before, KoD F0OT Talks on Tuesday, challenge video or vlog from me and Faz on Thursday, and challenge Faz every Sunday. Make sure you hit that subscribe button, stay up to date with everything that we got dropping. 3 videos a week, hopefully more once I get my setup fully set up again. I'm tired of talking about it. I just want to be about it. And yeah, until next time, I'm KoD F0OT. Later.